Welcome back to another episode of New Earth Rhythm. Today we're going to dive into one of the golden activations of the gene keys known as the Venus sequence. And if you're not familiar with the gene keys or if you're just starting to get into it, it is the most powerfully accurate system I've ever come across in my life. It is a synthesis of Eastern and Western sciences and systems, combining the Chinese I Ching, the human design system, Western astrology, Eastern astrology, biochemistry, the chakra system. It is so in depth and it literally creates your soul key. And by having your soul key, like your blueprint, how everything was mapped out at the moment of your birth and how that impacts your life story and who you chose to be in this lifetime, it literally spells it out for us. And I believe it is the greatest life hack we could ever come across. So if you're drawn to this, if you are coming across this, take it as your sign that this is exactly what you need in the next phase of your journey, of your hero's journey, because I believe it's a gift given to humanity at this point in time because it makes it so black and white and easy for you to understand exactly what your greatest gifts are in this lifetime, what your life path is in this lifetime, what your greatest shadows are that are going to help you turn on your greatest gifts. Like your greatest gifts are hidden within your greatest shadows. And I think it's also a really powerful way to remove any shame, guilt, or judgment around your shadows in life. Like when you see that it is your ordained blueprint, your soul key signature, it was written out before you came here that you were going to experience this exact shadow, these exact shadows. It removes the shame around the shadows that you've experienced in your lifetime, thinking that there was something wrong with me, or I did that when I was out of alignment, or I wasn't healed yet. And so I made all these terrible choices and all these bad decisions. It completely removes that. It's like, no, you are actually destined to experience these shadows in some way. Like your higher self, your soul chose this exact configuration of these shadows because you are meant to experience the gift, and it is your duty to unleash your gifts onto the world. It is your duty to give your gift to the world, and that is hidden within your deepest shadows. So it gives us this permission slip to embrace your shadows, to own your shadows, to see where they come up in your life because they're your greatest compass. That's exactly where you start first. Whatever greatest shadow is occurring for you, or when you notice that it starts to occur at some point in your life, that is your compass. That's exactly what you need to dive into first to bring conscious awareness. You bring light to it, you bring love to it, and then that's how you integrate, unleash your gift, and move forth as a powerful co-creator. So there's three different activations that are the main aspect of your gene key profile. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to go through this together. And if it sounds like I'm sick, that's because I am. Bear with me. The show must go on. You know what I'm saying? The show goes on. And I've been so lit up by this lately. I've known about this for a while, but I've truly never really written out my own activation sequence like this before. I have with the incarnation cross. That's in actually a different podcast episode. I'm going to remake it. I'm going to redo it. So this first one we're doing is the Venus sequence. The next one that I'll do is the golden activation. And then the third will be the pearl activation. But today we're getting into the Venus sequence. And so when you put in your birth time, your birthplace, your birth date, it's going to generate your human design body graph. And the gene keys just further develops upon your human design. It takes it a step further. And everything I've ever been drawn to since my Kundalini awakening, years ago, is every system that is a synthesis of Eastern and Western medicine. So, for example, I first found polarity energy healing, and I was so drawn to it because it's a synthesis of Eastern and Western. And I knew that I was always meant to be a healer. So I learned polarity as like my foundations that I would build upon. And then that's when I found human design, which is again a synthesis of Eastern and Western. And then I dove into human design. Then I was doing human design readings for people. Then I found the gene keys and I dove headfirst into the gene keys. And now I'm doing gene keys readings for people. And now I found a way to combine it where whenever, if you're working with me one on one, or if you're part of any of my group journeys, this is like the first step in working with me is I'm going to map out your human design body graph and I'm going to map out your gene keys activation sequences so that I know you on this deep energetic soul level. Like I need to understand your soul key. And then if you're doing energy work with me, I bring you through a powerful energy activation where we then embody and ignite and turn on your gifts through my form of quantum healing, quantum activation, energy work. Okay, so this is super powerful. If you're drawn to this, just, I hope you're feeling lit up right now and super empowered. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do this for yourself. Okay, so first of all, let's just get into what the Venus sequence is. As you can see here, this is what the gene keys represents, right? These four circles on the outside. And if you're listening to this podcast episode, you should really watch it because I'm, like I said, sharing my screen. I'm going to bring you guys through and really show you how you can do this on your own. So these four on the outside are what make up your incarnation cross. And then this blue triangle right here is the pearl sequence that's based on where Jupiter is located in your chart. And this shows you how to have abundance and make money in this lifetime. So we'll get into that in another episode or in another, if you're watching this, a part of my teaching series, that'll be a part of this section for learning the gene keys. And then you see these red ones here. This makes up the Venus sequence. And this is all about your emotional healing, your relationships, and heart opening. So it's a deep transformative journey of emotional healing, relational harmony, and heart opening. Each sphere in your sequence holds a unique energetic pattern. And this is defined by the gene keys that it corresponds to. And it allows you to understand the shadow, the gift, and then the Siddhi. The Siddhi is like the essence. That's like your soul essence, right? And then you come here and we're imprinted upon by our ancestral shadows, our lineage shadows, and then the collective shadows. And then that is further imprinted upon us by familial conditioning and societal conditioning. So it is up to us to remove our conditioning to get to the heart of who we truly are, which is our gift. And that's ruled by our Siddhi. So you're never fully conditioned, you're never fully conscious. Like even if you are experiencing deep conditioning and you're in the early stages of your spiritual awakening, you still have this essence as a part of you. Like it is still your soul essence that shines through at different moments in time. And that's why, this is going to resonate so deeply with you when you read the words of your own activation, because it's not going to be exactly new. It's not going to be like mind blowing that you're like, oh, wow, this is my greatest shadow. This is my greatest gift. This is my greatest Siddhi. It's like, on a soul level, this is already who you are because this is your soul key. But having it spelled out, it's just so empowering. And it's a really amazing tool for activating your gifts. So let's get into it. And then it's also an amazing tool if you're doing energy work with someone like me or someone, a part of my training program, who I'm going to share. I have a training program for energy healers where I'm going to share this knowledge of them to really understand the human design system and the gene key system on such a deep level to elevate their offerings to really help their clients, to help their community at this deep soul energetic level. So this is amazing for your own transformational journey. And then it's amazing for you to bring into your life, bring into your community, or if you are an energy healer, to bring it into your practice, to elevate your practice and to help more people. Okay, so now we're just going to talk about the Venus sequence for today. So again, it's these 6 red spheres that are highlighted. And I just think it's so cool to understand which aspects of self this is highlighting. So we have purpose, which is the earth placement. So again, this is mapping out where all the planets were located at the moment of your birth, right? So if we're looking at our relationships and our emotional healing, which is what the Venus sequence makes up, it first brings up earth, which is our unconscious earth, is our purpose. And then Venus, where Venus was located at the moment of your birth, we're looking at unconscious Venus, which is attraction. And then we're looking at Mercury, which is all about, our mental, the way that we think. And that is IQ, intelligence quotient. And this is found on the Mercury personality side. Then we're looking at Venus, but the defined Venus, okay, the conscious Venus, which is our emotional quotient. Then we're looking at the moon, where the moon is located. That is our spiritual quotient. And then we're looking at where Mars is located, which is the core of who you are. This is unconscious Mars. So if this makes no sense to you, don't worry about it. I just think if you are into Western astrology, you know that, what Mars represents, what the moon represents, Mercury, Venus, and then Earth. So these are the planets that are making up your emotional healing and your relationships. So, depending on where those were located at your birth, it's going to impact which specific hexagrams and which archetypes are lit up for uniquely you. And also, here's like the coolest thing about the gene keys and about human design: there will never be anyone who has ever lived, who will ever live again, that has your specific activation sequence. Like there will never be a repeat of the sequence. And I think that is so beautiful. It really is your ordained divine blueprint. It's like we're all just these unique stars, these unique snowflakes, and no one will ever have your exact makeup, which is so freaking cool. And that's why the birth time matters, because your soul really did choose that exact moment to be born. And it doesn't matter if you were like born from a C-section or anything like that. I get questions about that sometimes. It's all divine. It's all happening in divine timing. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys my Venus sequence so that this can hopefully make some sense for you and you can figure it out on your own. And what you're going to do to calculate yours, if you are like proficient at reading body graphs, you can go ahead and bring up your human design chart and then look at where all of the planets are located and write down and map out which gates they're activating. Gates are the same as gene keys, are the same as hexagrams of the Chinese I Ching. I'm going to call them gene keys from now on. Okay. So you can look at where each planet is located to that specific gene keys, or make it super simple for yourself and go to genekeys.com, create a profile with your email, password. It's going to send you an email. You sign up. It's free. You put in your birth information, then it's going to create your own PDF with your golden activation, with your Venus sequence, with your Pearl sequence. They're going to spell it out for you. They do the work for you, and they create these graphs for you, which then you can save. And it's going to look like this, right? So you can then pay $180 on their website and they will spell it all out for you. I've never done that. I just figure it out myself. So I'm going to show you guys how to figure it out yourselves. And then you can do it for other people too. You don't want to spend $180 every time you're doing it with someone. So I'm showing you guys how to do this. Okay. So write out what your Venus sequence is. It's going to give you these numbers: 35, 36, 51, 39, 61, 56. These are corresponding to the gene keys. And now you're going to go through each one. Purpose. So for me, purpose is gene key number 35. And the shadow of 35 is hunger. The gift is adventure. And then the Siddhi is boundlessness. So it's like a part of my life purpose, my soul essence. No matter what phase of my journey I'm in, I always have this essence of boundlessness and adventure. But some parts of my life, I'm more like in the gift of adventure, and other times I'm in my shadow of hunger. And once I have this written out and spelled out for me, now I know exactly when hunger's showing up for me. It's a sign from my world, it's a sign from the universe that I'm not living in alignment and that I need to change the way I'm going about things. So it's showing you, like I said, it's your compass. So when hunger arises for me, I know that I'm not healthy, I'm not in the right place, I'm not doing the right thing. And hunger really means like this restless searching to be filled up with serotonin and dopamine. It's like chasing experiences, chasing this wild, reckless adventures. And like a lot of periods of my life were mapped by this hunger. I thought at the time it was just pure adventure, but I see now that no, it was really driven by this like insatiable hunger I had because I never had deep peace within. So I'd look for outside experiences to fill me up. And I was always so wild and reckless. Like I would do anything, I was fearless, I would try anything. And I do love that about myself. But when you see that it's coming from dissatisfaction or constantly seeking fulfillment outside of myself, that is the shadow aspect that's going to kind of like create chaos in my life, right? And my healing comes from embracing the adventure of life, letting go of expectations and being open to the unexpected. At the highest expression, this leads to boundlessness, where I embody emotional freedom and the infinite possibilities in relationships. So let's keep going. Next is attraction. And this is my unconscious Venus, which is gene key 36. Oh, and by the way, once you have the numbers, gene key 35, gene key 36, literally go into Chat GPT and type out summarize gene key 35 for me. And they will give you this paragraph. They'll show you what the shadow, gift, and city is, and then they'll summarize the gene key for you so that you can get a taste of what it's really all about. And obviously, you need to get the book, The Gene Keys. It's like 500, 600 pages long, and you can dive into each gene key. I have it right here on my desk. You dive into each gene key, and then you can read about it and contemplate it. But if you just want a quick, study guide, a sheet for you, do it this way with ChatGPT. Write it out, and then you go one by one and you meditate on it. And that is my baby. So I'm going to take a pause on this for now. I am back hours later. Let's continue. I was almost done anyways. I'm just showing you guys how to find your own Venus sequence, how to use it in your life, how to spell it out for you so that you can make this conscious integration. And so literally go to genekeys.com, type in your birth information. They're going to give you your Venus sequence. Go to ChatGPT, type in summarize gene key number 35 or whatever your purpose is, right? And you're going down through all six of them, get it all spelled out for you, put it into a document so you have it just like this right in front of you that you can read, contemplate, meditate on, integrate, and activate. And if you need help activating it, hit up your girl. Okay. So you're going through each one: purpose, attraction, IQ, EQ, SQ, and core. So I just brought you through my purpose. Then we're at my attraction. This governs sexual energy, chemistry, and the dynamics that you magnetize in relationships. And for me, here you go. If you want to see into my deep, dark, shadowy depths of relationships, you'll see that in my shadow, it's this emotional turbulence, intensity, drama, instability. And this then teaches me how to open up my heart to humanity, allowing for deeper empathy and emotional connection. And then my Siddhi, my greatest gift that I'm here to leave in this world before I die, is the true meaning of compassion, holding space for others' emotions with unconditional love. And I'm also here to still the emotional wave, right? Emotions are like this wave. And this is what the reawakening of the solar plexus is. You guys have heard me talk about this so many times. It's stilling the wave in your own life. So then that permeates throughout your family and throughout the collective. Okay, my IQ, gene key 51. This is my conscious Mercury, is awakening. That's the Siddhi, is awakening. Shadow is agitation. Gift is initiative. And this is just like, when I first read this, I had the biggest smile on my face because this really just hit home for me so much. This was what my spiritual awakening was. Like when I was younger, I was constantly stuck in these like mental patterns, experiencing agitation in the form of competitiveness, shock, or on edge mentally. And then my growth involves by taking initiative to challenge fear and step into new opportunities with courage. And this plays into my human design as well as a manifester. It's all about initiative. It's taking inspired creative action. It's not waiting for anyone or anything, but being like the one to get me out of any situation, get me into a new headspace, get me into a new like a quantum leap into a new timeline. It's all about taking initiative. And so seeing that this comes from my mental conscious Mercury just made so much sense. I thought it was so beautiful. And this represents awakening, a moment of profound clarity and spiritual insight that allows my mind to take aligned action with my heart. So this is me, this is my essence. This is what I have. I have these breakthroughs. I'll be in deep meditation. I'll have these breakthroughs, this moment of a lightning bolt of clarity and insight. I think that's also related to me being a manifester, is getting this like divine channel of like an insight coming in like a lightning bolt. And this allows me to have this boom, like instant resonance with my mind and with my heart, which I believe is where the home of the higher self lives. It's when your mind and your heart are in resonance. And then I take inspired creative action in my physical world to create a life that's in alignment with that new insight. Okay, going through this rapid fire. The next is EQ. This is my conscious Venus. Provocation is the shadow. Dynamism is the gift. I love this so much. So basically, what provocation means here is this tendency to provoke others emotionally, pushing people's buttons, feeling triggered myself. This definitely stems from, my childhood. Me and my brothers were always like pushing each other's buttons, always fighting, kind of having such high EQ and knowing people and knowing exactly which buttons to push to piss them off was my strong suit. I hate to say it, but no, this is the thing. There's no shame around it, right? It's not that I hate to say it. It's like, this is just how it is. This is how it was. There's no shame around the shadow, because hidden deep within that, when it's integrated, is dynamism, lively, courageous force that encourage others to step into their truth. That's me. That's me at my gift. And then at the Siddhi level, it's liberation, freeing myself and others from emotional entanglements. And again, that goes back to my next phase of stilling the wave, having that reawakening of the solar plexus. You'll see how these weave into every area of your life. SQ, unconscious moon. Psychosis is the shadow. Gift is inspiration. Siddhi is sanctity. And the way that they word this is just so beautiful. It's my spiritual essence is SQ, right? And psychosis is where the mind becomes trapped in overthinking, self-doubt, and existential questioning. I was existential ever since I was like consciously aware. Like since my early first memories, I was so confused about what was really going on here, why I existed, why I was having these experiences, what the world really is. And the Gene Keys uses this word psychosis because it is getting trapped in your mind. And I was always trapped in my mind until I had my spiritual awakening, which is when I became embodied for the first time. And my healing comes through inspiration, accessing higher insights that connect me to universal truth. And then Siddhi is sanctity, a profound inner peace and recognition of the sacredness of all life. It's so beautiful. And here, the last one is the core. Unconscious Mars. Distraction is the shadow. Enrichment is the gift. Intoxication is the Siddhi. I love this. It's at the heart of my wounding. This represents my deepest emotional challenge and the key to unlocking my heart. Distraction, where I may feel restless, seeking external stimulation to avoid emotional discomfort. This ties back into my other shadow of hunger, right? These are just these themes that are woven throughout my life that I was destined to experience in this lifetime. But my healing comes through enrichment, finding joy and fulfillment in small, meaningful moments of life. This is like becoming a mother helped me heal this finally. Finally helped me heal that shadow of hunger and the shadow of distraction, because I just felt such eternal peace once I became a mother. And now I find joys in every single moment of life with Eris. And then the Siddhi is intoxication, a state of pure bliss and awe for the beauty of existence. And then you'll see that even when ChatGPT will help you with this, it will help you weave it all together to understand how to move. It's going to tell this story through you because it understands these six spheres and how they weave together for your unique emotional healing. So it invites me to move from emotional turbulence, restlessness, and provocation into a life of adventure, compassion, and dynamic liberation. It's about transforming these relational wounds into gifts that allow me to connect deeply with people while remaining grounded and open hearted. Like, this is my story. This is my emotional story. This is my relationship story. And it's all about emotional mastery through adventure and humanity, awakening and liberation by embracing discomfort and leaning into growth, deep fulfillment by slowing down and savoring life's richness. This is just so beautiful. This is so powerful. Please do this for yourself. Weave this into your teaching, weave this into your work. You can give this gift to other people, this gift of illumination, insight. And then there's these practical steps for contemplation. Then you take it a step further and you activate this energy through guided meditation and through deep chakra work and through deep understanding. And again, like ceremony, I see it as incorporate this into your work. If you are a ceremonialist, you'll begin to understand how to incorporate this and how to activate this within your clients through ceremony, and it's so beautiful. Okay, so this is my new obsession. This is my new rabbit hole that I've been going down and trying to refine as to incorporate it into my practice so that I can help and share this with others. So I invite you to go map out your own, put it into a document, into a PDF, and then meditate on it. Use it, at the full moon, at the new moon. For me today, it's a new moon. And this is the kind of work that I was drawn to at this time. So this is what I'm going to activate these new seeds to be planted for myself in this new moon. So as always, thank you so much for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being devoted to living in alignment with your highest calling, to give your gift before you die. That's what you're here for. That's why you're experiencing these shadows, because it's bringing you closer to your gift. You got to own that. You have to give your gift before you move on. That's what this life is all about. It's giving your gift. And here is a perfect spelled out map of your blueprint, of your soul key, telling you exactly how to give your gift. So you can just freaking own it and let it rip. All right, sending so much love. That is all. Peace out.